What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Thursday, July 8th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, NBA Finals. This is a showdown between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. So let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Chris Paul from the Phoenix Suns playing the Milwaukee Bucks. Chris Paul has averaged 37.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 23% usage rate. He scored 51, 67, and 36 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 37, 34, and 35 minutes. He's going to be about 47% owned on FanDuel, and he's projected at 41 fantasy points here tonight. So I like Chris Paul here versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Now the other point guard that I like is Jrue Holiday from the Milwaukee Bucks. He's averaging 36.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 22% usage rate. He scored 29, 63, and 53 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 39, 42, and 41 minutes. He's going to be about 40% owned on FanDuel, projected at 42 fantasy points here tonight. Now remember guys, Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to be back for this game, so that's going to take away some usage from Jrue Holiday and Chris Middleton, but it looks like they've been priced appropriately, so I like Jrue Holiday here versus the Phoenix Suns. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Devin Booker from the Phoenix Suns, who averaged 37.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 34 minutes per game with a 33% usage rate. He scored 44, 39, and 43 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 41, 42, and 43 minutes. He's going to be about 47% owned on FanDuel, projected at 40.8 fantasy points here tonight. So I like Devin Booker here versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Now I think he makes a good candidate for captain if you want to make your lineup different and fade Giannis, who's coming back from injury. Although he's going to be popular, I think Devin Booker's in a great matchup here. He's got monster upside, so I think a Devin Booker captain is an interesting lineup if you want to change it up. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Chris Middleton from the Milwaukee Bucks. He averaged 36.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 25% usage rate. He scored 38, 49, and 62 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 44, 40, and 44 minutes. He's going to be about 35% owned on FanDuel, projected at 44 fantasy points here tonight. So I like Chris Middleton here versus the Phoenix Suns. Now, if you're looking for a value play here, take a look at Mikal Bridges from the Phoenix Suns. He's averaged 36.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 15% usage rate. He scored 20, 16, and 9 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 29, 23, and 27 minutes. He's going to be about 35% owned on FanDuel. He's projected at 25.1 fantasy points here tonight. So I like Mikal Bridges here versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the position optimizer where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new player trends tool where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Back from injury here. We're not sure how many minutes he's going to play, how healthy he's going to be, so there's a little bit of risk here in his first game back, but it looks like he's good to go. And he averaged 53.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 33% usage rate. He scored 52 fantasy points last game in 35 minutes with a 24% usage rate. So excuse me, not his first game back. He's been back for one game. He played 35 minutes, scored 52 fantasy points. So we know he's good to roll here tonight. Now, he's going to be about 70% owned, projected at 53.5 fantasy points here tonight. So I like Giannis Antetokounmpo here versus the Phoenix Suns. Now, if you're looking for a sleeper pick, take a look at PJ Tucker from the Milwaukee Bucks, and he only averaged 12.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 26 minutes per game with a 7% usage rate, but he scored 17, 21, and 21 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 33, 32, and 37 minutes. He's projected at 20 fantasy points here tonight, and he's going to be about 24% owned on FanDuel. He's super cheap, and he's playing a ton of minutes, so just because of the minutes that he's out there, that gives him some upside. So I like PJ Tucker as a sleeper pick here versus the Phoenix Suns. Okay, let's take a look at the center position. I like DeAndre Ayton from the Phoenix Suns. He's averaged 33.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate. He scored 48, 42, and 29 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 38, 40, and 36 minutes. He's going to be about 35% owned on FanDuel, projected at 36.9 fantasy points here tonight. So I like DeAndre Ayton here versus the Milwaukee Bucks. The other center you can consider is Brook Lopez, who's averaged 24.5 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 27 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. He scored 29, 28, and 57 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 22, 38, and 37 minutes. Now he's going to be about 23% owned, but the thing that concerns me about this pick is that with Giannis back, he only played 22 minutes, although he did score 29 fantasy points. He's projected at 28 fantasy points here tonight. Now, depending on how many minutes he plays this game, he's got some upside. So I like Brook Lopez here versus the Phoenix Suns.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.